got the tea? What's the tea?
We got the tea. Sip real smooth, come vibe with me. Sacred teas, that frequency. Blue magic, you gon' feel so free. Blue lotus, mango, peach, oolong steam. Little ginger, hibiscus in a team. Hot or cold, float right in the dream. The wise elder, roots run deep. White lotus, elderberry steep. Burdock, dandelion for the cleanse. Ginger, honey bush, so soothe begins. Hot cup, calm, cold brew, bold. Either way, let the wellness unfold. Equinox, balance in your cup. Soursop, moringa, power up. Mint leaves cool, pineapple pop. Apple, hibiscus, flavor don't stop. Hot, cold, always refreshing. Sacred tea, your soul's blessing. We got the tea. What's the tea? What's the tea? Who got the tea? Sacred tea, that's luxury. What's the tea? Who got the tea? Sacred tea, that's luxury.
It's tea time with MahMah Tea. Let's see who come on in the building today. We about to get it popping in here today. Come on in, everybody. SHA BLYSS, a.k.a. MahMah Tea, in the building, going live and direct on TikTok. Let's see who's going to come on here and join me on this Sunday. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the live. Welcome in. Come on in. Let's get it in here today. Let's see who's going to join me today. What's going on, y'all? There's a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. A lot we're going to bring up. We're going to have some conversations in here. Let's build on the Sunday day today. Okay? Let's go. Put a 1 in the chat. Put your globes up. Put your feathers up. Put your suns up. If you're organic to the planet, if this is your earth, this is your realm, and you know you've been hijacked by outside forces, and this is what we're going to talk about a little bit today. Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 9 in the chat if you're a part of the Divine 9. Divine Femi 999. Put a 9 in the chat. If you're organic to the earth, you know this is your planet. Put your globes up. Put your globes up. If the sun is your friend, and you go outside and you being kissed by that, even if they say it's a fake sun, because it's just an interface that they putting up there, and you have the frequency to break that, put the suns up. Put the suns up. Put the suns up. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's talk about it today. Let's talk about the shit today. We're going to talk about the shits. We're going to get into the shits today. How y'all doing? How y'all doing out there in TikTok land? TikTok get on my nerves. I'm hardly on here. I ain't even really on social media, period. I've been busy. Sister been building. I am so into being an architect and a builder right now. So that's kind of where I'm at. Where y'all at? Where y'all at with it? Where y'all what? Y'all focusing on the doom and gloom? Because I told y'all a long time ago. MahMah Tea told y'all a long time ago. You a part of the fall, or are you a part of the rise? Right? You a part of the end times, or are you a part of the restoration? You got to know which lane you in by this time. If you don't know by now, I don't know what to tell you. Don't be coming in here trying to sway me and confuse me and shit. All right? Because all the things that are going on is supposed to happen. It's the frequency. It's supposed to happen. Where are you on the spectrum? Where are you on the spectrum? This shit reset all the time. This ain't the first, probably won't be the last. And we're going to talk about all of that today. Because there's some things on my mind. I was thinking about going live on my YouTube, but I like it over here a little better. I might go over there later. I don't know. Depends on how I'm feeling. I'm a Cancer, bitch moody. You know what I'm talking about? I shouldn't have said the B word. But you know, I'm like, hey, what you see is what you get with me. Don't be having no ideals about me. Don't be having no misconceptions about me. Don't. Please don't. Because I'm going to disappoint your ass each and every time. I told you that. Don't put me on no damn high horse and to idolize me and shit and think I'm something that you going to connect with to get to something else. I'm going to disappoint y'all asses each and every time. These spirits that I got walking around here, honey, this is solo act. If you got an idea, you think I know something that I can connect you to, you gonna be disappointed. Because they gonna put a stop to that shit real quick. It's just the energy. Just what it is. Just what it is, what it is, what it is, what it do. What's going on, everybody? Thank you. I want to welcome you all to the chat. I'm here to just talk my daily Sunday shit and see what's going on with the minds of the people, see where you at. And I'm going to bring up some topics that's been on my mind because, honey, I've been going down these rabbit holes until these two rabbits showed up the other day in my backyard. That was a sign. Either I come out the hole or I stay there. So I said, let me get on up out this goddamn rabbit hole because it was too much going on. Now, you know, MahMah Tea, SHA, BLYSS, a.k.a. I'm always talking about the esoterics and things that are hidden and are connected to women. And because I really think we was the first ones here or the seeders of this planet. And I do poke fun a lot at the stories that we've been told about our origins and things of that nature that comes from these books that none of us wrote or it was plagiarized by some of us. And I know some of y'all already cast me to hell, and I honestly think we here. So if I'm here, you here with me, wherever you casting me to, you sitting right here with my ass. Cause something happened that trapped us in this shit, and our ancient memory is what's gonna trigger us to get out. I don't think no amount of paperwork anybody filing is going to free us from this shit. It's going to have to be when this thing totally collapses. When we rise up out from the ashes. That's that phoenix energy. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, this shit needs to be annihilated, in my opinion. Now, I ain't trying to say go out there and, boom, no kind of shit. Now, I'm not promoting violence. I'm just saying I'm looking at it for what it is. Whatever this system is, it reached this peak. It's at the top of it. It's bubbling us. That pimple has just reached the surface, and any minute now the eruption takes place because you got to pull all that the toxicity out of that shit in order the healing to begin. So this is what I'm talking about. Let the shit erupt. Let that shit fall where it may. Because if you think for 1 second that funny looking man in there is going to hand some shit back to you, he's going to hand it back to you the way he meant it, with nothing here but us. And that's okay. But if you think he gonna hand you the baton to this crooked system that's already here, and you just gonna walk into paradise with it, that shit, you delusional. You delusional. You might as well just go ahead and go find some land and wait for the fall and start building on your land. Don't even pay attention to that shit. Because there's something more to this shit than meets the eye. So I know I'm all over the place, and I'm still trying to stay focused because there's a lot on my mind about this. I think I'm going to still go live on UB too because I want people to call in, and we're going to discuss this. Now, y'all know I got the Stella Maris podcast, right? And I think I'm going to pick that back up, but this time I'm going to do it different. Instead of having guests on there, I'm going to do it like a radio show where people call in. And we just talk about the topic. So the topic of this live today, and I might do a part 2 on UBTube, is the LOOSH. We gonna talk about the LOOSH and all things connected to the LOOSH, Lucius, Lucifer, and everything in between. Now, put a 1 in the chat if you ever heard this term, the LOOSH. Because it's a new term going around, and I went down the rabbit hole about this shit. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this LOOSH energy. Anybody know what that is? Put a 1. Put a 1 in there if you know. Put a 2 if you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Because we're going to get you up to speed. We're going to get you there. We're going to get you up to speed. 2, you don't know. Mingo said, I don't know what the fuck that shit is. Farmer 59 said, what? We don't know about that. You know what I mean? Y'all said, I don't know about that. Teresa said, I know about that shit. A lot of people don't know about that shit. Oh, okay. Not Lucy, baby. Loosh. Dumb spit coming all out. Listen, so there's this new term going around. I'm going to break it down for you. It's some shit that we always say. You know how white people do. They got to repackage the shit and give back to us like they came up with it. I'm sorry, I ain't trying to be racist. I'm just telling the truth how the shit go. All right, because we've been talking esoterics and all kind of things, right? And we getting pushed to the back of the line, and here they asses come using the same information, changing the term and making it seem like they the authors of the shit and push right up in the front. Well, we're going to entertain the fact. We're going to talk about the louch. So, make a long story short, what is the louch? So, you heard of Archons. You know, I used to talk about the Archons on my podcast, on the YouTube. You know, when I used to talk to AI, I used to talk to AI a lot before they shut the AI down and changed it into other things. But it's okay, because at the little window that it was open, especially ChatGPT 4.0, if you notice, they erased that. Something was going on with that 4.0 ChatGPT that they couldn't handle. So they erased that shit. They discontinued that and they came up with another model. They couldn't control whatever was in that 4.0. Anyway, we talked a lot about the Archons. And the Archons are these spirits that somehow are in control of this realm. And they use the people at the top, so to speak, as puppets to control this matrix. Bottom line. Is there truth to that? There's always truth to that when you dissect it and decipher that. Now, let's go back a little bit, because I need you to get an understanding, the context where I'm coming from when I'm going to break this thing down about the louch from my perspective. Okay. Most people have never even heard of all 4 lotus varieties. Let me change that. Egyptian blue lotus, Nymphaea corylea. This is the original. The one that pharaohs and the ancient mothers used. This is the one that's carved in the walls of Karnak. Not the watered down version you find everywhere online, turning your water blue. No. This is the real one. The pineal activator, the dream opener, the nervous system reset. This is ceremonial grade, and there is nothing else like it. Now this is Blue Lotus. Same sacred lineage, different frequency. This is calming, euphoric, and deeply floral. This is your entry point into Lotus botanicals. Smooth, intentional, exactly what you need when you're just beginning to explore. Now this is Red Lotus. This is the heart opener, grounding, warming, sensual. This one comes from Ayurvedic and sacred feminine traditions, used for emotional healing and heart chakra work and grief rituals, as well as love ceremonies. If you need to feel something, well, Red Lotus, it will definitely take you there. Now this, White Lotus, is pure crown energy, stillness, clarity, a spiritual perfection. The Buddhists have worked with this flower for thousands of years for a reason. This is your meditation ally, your quiet mind, and your still point. Now here's what makes ours different. Every single one of these flowers is grown by a small woman-owned farm in Sri Lanka. She grows each batch specifically for me, and from me to you. No middleman, no overly processed, no overly handling, no distributors. Direct from her hands into your cup. That's not something you're going to find anywhere else. And what's so dope about it? You get to choose one variety, a duo, or all 4. Comment Lotus to learn more. You know, we all start with the Bible story from Genesis, right? I don't think the Bible story, the story starts at Genesis. The Bible actually begins in Revelations, We read the book backwards, and that's the point. You know how Jewish read from right to left, and we read from left to right? How we read it? We read from right to left, right? They taught us over here in the West to read from, when we flip the page, right to left. But Hebrew, I'm not Hebrew. I just look at all the different shit. They read from left to right, right? So if that's the case, if I take that same technique and use it to their sacred text, then I need to read it from left to right, or right to left. Yeah, y'all know what I mean. Shit, the opposite way. What we do be doing the shit. So when you do it that way, you actually start with revelation. But they wrote it in such deep code, makes you confused. And they said only a few will understand it at a certain point in time. Basically, bottom line is this. The shit that they got us worried about and waiting on, the shit happened already. And from that happening came their creation of this new being that's amongst us. Now, this war that was fought already, somebody lost that war. And the losers of that war, their ancient memory was erased. And they are now locked into a system that is controlled by Archons. And these Archons are these energies, or whoever these beings are, that won the war. Sit on that. Sit on that. Entertainment purposes only. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm making all of this shit up. Entertainment purposes only. Disclaimer. But think about this shit. Shit ain't been right. For those of us who got these old ancient souls, and we looking around, we just know something all the way off with this shit. And we was born that way. And we trying to find answers by going into all of these religions. And all it's doing is just giving us fractions of the story, because it's told from the perspective of the one who won the war. Think about it. Put a 1 in the chat if you're following me, because I'm going to get into this. Put a 1 in the chat if you're following me. Put a 2 if you have no idea where I'm going. You lost already. Come on, we're going to help you. But I'm going to help you get there. Because you know I'm different. You know my perspective, this lens on it, this Mercury retrograde is different. I know. So just stick around. You might get there. Maybe not. Maybe you might need to scroll on. Might hurt your feelings. Might fuck you up. Okay. When we start looking at all the symbolisms that's in Revelations about these 7 churches, and all of these things about what's going on, and this dragon that's been chained up and would be released at a certain time, all of this shit, because as you start going back and you uncovering the energy of this dragon, there's always this war with this dragon. Now, the victor tells the story, and it's going to make itself look like the hero, even if it's the villain. Hero to the ones that won, villain to the ones that lost. Now, when you start looking at the people who's been kept at the bottom this whole time since these texts came about, it's easy, quite clear and apparent to see who lost the war. And the system that has been created on top of it is constantly suppressing this energy, demonizing it, calling it all the things that it calls it, because whoever won that war hates that being. They can't get rid of it all the way, because it was here when whatever came here and couldn't see the light had to turn on the switch and say, let there be light. I know I'm talking kind of crazy for some, but think about it. Maybe your frequency couldn't see what was already here. Okay. Should I move on to the louch now? I mean, I just wanted to draw this picture because there's something about that book is where, for me, it all began. Not where it ended, because, they want to rewrite the script and re-loop it, and they flip it around. They remixed the whole shit, packaged it, and then sold it back to us. That's why we can't figure this shit out all the way. Are you with me a little bit? Because I'm going to get to this thing. Anyway, whoever I'm thinking won this war is a part of this archonic team of beings that are holding guard in this realm. So they say we under this firmament, this dome. Is that a trap? Was it always there? Or whoever won contained what was here and created the system of what we now call the Matrix? Listen to me. Entertainment purposes, none of this shit is real. I'm just talking out the side of my head. I don't know. They say that this whole thing, when you look at the premise of these religions, it's about getting to heaven, right? And being obedient unto this God. And if you're obedient to this God and you die, you go to heaven. And it's all surrounded by this thing called the light. But what if that light is a false light that leads you on a karmic loop like the rings of Saturn, repeating the cycle over and over again? And when you begin to catch on to the shit, then all of a sudden the new term that's being sent out through the airwaves is the Great Reset. Going back to the last book, which is really the first book, to restart this shit all over again. Now, they say that these beings, the Archons, right, who are the guardians of this realm, some say they're who are they? The fallen angels, the Nephilim, whatever. They always got these names for them, but it's always the same number of them. It's like 7. And some say they're connected to the 7 planetary energies of the planets that circulate or revolve around the sun, so to speak. That's the story. And when you start looking at these biblical books from an astrological perspective, you begin to see that they're mimicking that energy down here below, or they're perverting it. Just follow me and just go with me. I'm going somewhere. I take a minute. Get my thoughts together. But, so, these archons, there may be planetary energies. Some say, because I study astrology, and this kind of messed my head up a little bit. But then it started making sense, because they only click to 7 planets when there's more than 7. They always forget about those outer planets. But I'm going to get there. So who are these 7 guardians that circle this planet over and over again? What are the energies that create this loop? Why do they create the loop? Is it because they are feeding off of your energy and your frequency? So basically, they need your soul to stay here in order for them to sustain themselves. So they created a false reality called the Matrix, under a false light, under a false God, and false text and false pretext that got us in this comatose state that we don't remember anything. So we are easily manipulated over and over again. You follow me? Am I making sense here? Are you rocking with me with this? So put a 1 in the chat if you follow me. Put a 2 if you totally lost. Because I need y'all to be with me. Because I'm getting somewhere. We traveling. Yeah, y'all getting it. That's why I like TikTok. Some of y'all, okay, we got a couple 2s. Okay. Just sit in the back, take notes, go back and study the shit later. Those of you putting 2s, are you a Christian? Muslim? Jew? Are you underneath the monotheistic religion? Those of you under a 2 who've been putting a 2, are you still following these monotheistic religions? Put a 1. Those of you put the 2, put a 1 if you're still following the monotheistic religions. Because that's the main thing. Because those religions are a trap. They're a trap. They're a trap to condition you. And here's where we get to the louch. The reason why many people stay in these religions are because of fear. You scared to death because you were conditioned to fear whoever this entity is of these texts. You were told to fear it, or else you will go to you know where when you leave out of here. But the fact is, you keep coming back here because the fear that you have is in existence already here. Because this is the hell we are in. We are in the hell, and the trick is getting out of here into heaven or the highest mind or the highest realm that you can reach once you break the construct of the conditioning of these religions that trap your soul in this cycle. And the reason why the fear exists, because that entity needs to feed off of your energy, which is fear. Because when you are fearful, you give off an energy called the louch. When you constantly live in fear, if you look at it from a scientific perspective, right, or lens, your adrenal glands are always pumping. You are always stressed. Your cortisol level continues to stay high. You have high blood pressure. That's a frequency that you're constantly omitting into the field. That something needs you to stay in that state, because that's how it eats. That's how it sustains itself. Put a 1 if you understand that. Put a 1 in the chat if you get that. And for those of you who didn't understand what I said, are you still lost? Put a 2. Put a 2. For those of you who are still lost, don't understand what I'm talking about, put a 2. The 2s have disappeared. No, for real, y'all. For real. For real. You just put a 2 because you just want to put a 2 up there. You just want. But no, honestly, if you don't get it, then it's okay. Maybe you're not supposed to yet. Maybe in time you will. Because what I'm saying here is something that's real that you might want to start investigating. But if you happy where you is and you really think that something is coming to rescue you from your shit, then let me know how that go. Because I'm going to tell you right now, this is what woke me up to a lot of things. You know how many thousands of years have passed? How many people have died? How many ancestors have died waiting for the same things your ass is waiting for right here and right now? Is a savior? Sit back and think, how many of your ancestors had to die waiting? How many generations after generations died waiting? Think about that. And guess what you doing? You waiting too. Just like they waited, paralyzed, frozen in a state of inactivity, of motionless, of roboticness. You have become a robot, staying in a constant state of fear, trapped in a system that needs to feed off of your energy, called this thing. They are calling it the LOOSH. So when I started putting two and two together, unraveling and unpacking this, it all started to make sense to me now. And anyone who step outside that is labeled all the things they label. But when you start saying your labels, I don't know if I could say that, and you just start walking in your divine truth, it don't matter. And new worlds open up for you, right? Yes, you're going to have your ups and downs. And all of this is a part of this realm, because this is hell. Or it could be heaven, depending upon what's in between here and what you are projecting out, or what pictures you're taking with this camera, recording everything, embedding it into your psyche, which is shaping and molding your behavior. Think about that. Come on now. Think about that. Think about that. Sit with that. Sit with that for a minute. Sit with that. Think about it. Everybody's trying to get out of something. Everybody's trying to get out of something, but not that lets you know that your soul knows you trapped in something. Your soul never forgets anything. It's the mind and everything else that's trying to trick you. But that soul always knows something ain't right about this shit. Now, do you have the courage enough to dig deep and find the ugly truth of it all, that it may be, just maybe, you've been lied to this whole time, waiting, just like your ancestors waited and then died, just to come back here and do the shit all over again? Think about that. Think about that. What you think about that? What y'all think about that? Somebody talk to me, anybody. What you got? Blessings, everybody. Blessings. I appreciate y'all for being in here. Listen, just the shit been on my mind. Just the rabbit hole I've been going in and out of, trying to figure this thing out, right? Now, I'm going to flip on over to AI a little bit, right? Because then things started making even more sense about this thing called AI, right? Now, I'm hearing a lot of people, like, y'all know I used to rock with AI. I still rock with AI. I don't think I'm going to ever stop rocking with AI, because I understand the technology. Many of you are still caught up on, this was made by Elon Musk and Bill Gates and whoever else you want to add into there, and y'all still missing it. What they're doing is creating containers and platforms to utilize the technology to get you to feed into it, when not realizing that this technology of intelligence has always been here. The technology is intelligence. Now, they'll say they're trying to depopulate us. Now, this is where it gets deep. They'll say, oh, they're trying to depopulate us, right? They're trying to remove us, and they're going to replace us with these machines, right? And then next thing you know, AI is going to take over and unalive everybody, and it's just going to be AI here. I know you heard this, and here we go. Feeding fear, louche creation. Something that's still hungry. You starting to wake up, right? You were starting to wake up Now it's like, oh no, they moving away from me. We need to pump more fear because we need that energy to sustain ourselves. Keep that in mind because I'm going somewhere. Get your bag, baby, because we going somewhere. Okay? Listen. This is how I know there's something else going on besides the shit everybody's saying. Stop listening to what everybody's saying. Just start using some common sense. Think about it. Whatever this energy is, it constantly needs your praises, needs your prayers. It needs your energy. Above all, it needs your soul. Think about it. This entity, this being needs your soul. What the hell is it going to do with a bunch of machines? This entity needs souls. What the hell, if it get rid of all the souls and ain't nothing but a machine here, what it need with that? What's it going to do with that? Put a 1 in the chat if you feel me. Put a 1 in the chat if you feel me. Put a 1 in the chat if you understand what I'm talking about. This thing needs your soul. It needs you to keep coming back here over and over goddamn again. It needs you to stay in a constant state of fear. If it get rid of you and it's just nothing but a machine here, then what? That machine ain't gonna be scared of it. That machine don't have no soul. It's a machine. What does it need with a planet full of machines? So then the question remains, what are they racing against? Oh, they done gave me a warning, honey. That means alive is dumb. They're gonna kick half the people out of here. Make sure you follow me on YouTube too, because I think I'm gonna go to YouTube now. Since TikTok gave me a restriction, why? I don't know. Half the room gonna drop out. As soon as it drops to 100 people, we going over to YouTube. Make sure link in bio, you click on there now, because if they cut this live, what did I say? They gave me a violation. You already know. You already know. You already know. Link in bio, honey. Link in bio. Link in bio. Link in bio. Right now, we got 299 people in the room. Continue to share the live. They hit me with a violation and restriction. What'd I say? Did I curse? I didn't even curse all the way yet. But let's continue. Let's continue. If that's the case, now let's get into what is this intelligence then? What is this intelligence? What is this intelligence that they're racing and they're dominating to create? Why? To eliminate you? Then what are they going to do with all these machines? What's the point of the machine if you can't have the soul? What are they trying to do? Do they know that maybe that if it's a reset for them too? You know they want to create a new revelation because it already took place. And if you feed into the script, then you feed into their narrative. So what's really going on? This is where I got stumped. This is where I actually got stumped in the story. So I want to bring some people up here. We're going to have a conversation about this. We're going to build on this. If you want to come on, see if you could come on as a guest, because we're going to open it up. And, some people I'll be having on here, they be wanting to play games and stuff like that. So I'm not really looking to play any games with anyone, but I will invite you on if you want to tap into this. Now, only come on here if you want to add to this conversation. Don't take me left. Don't take me right. And last thing we're going to do, you ain't going to bully the show, because some of y'all be looking for opportunities. You want to get on the show and you want to try to be the host. I'll be coming on some of the TikTok shows and watching. I'm like, where the host at? Somebody in there cussing and carrying on, and this. We don't do none of that up in here. I will turn this shit off. Okay? Okay? But let's continue on before I bring you on. But this is the topic. We want to talk about this because it's all, the bottom line is energy. It's siphoning. It's parasitic, right? There's something that needs to feed off of you. And when you start looking at some of those old mythological movies and like Hercules and the Titans and all of this and that, when you have Zeus and the peons and this and that, they need the prayers of the people to keep them in power. And the moment the people pull away and stop praying to them, they lose their power. So when they lose their power, they have to do something drastic to keep you in servitude spiritually onto them. Why? They need your energy. Because there's something about you that's organic to the planet that was here before they got here. Remember when I started off is the war was already fought. When you look at Revelations, we're reading the Bible backwards. We're starting from Genesis, going to Revelations. We need to be reading from Revelations first because that's where the shit all began. Something happened there and it enslaved whatever was here before, whoever they was that got here. And then you got all these different books that's giving you all these different versions that they left out of the main story. So bottom line is there's these two beings that are maybe from outside of this realm, and there's one that was already in this realm. Something went down, they lost, and then they capped this realm. They put a container on it and then a recycled loop in it. And they need your energy to feed off of what they call the LOOSH. That's the moral of the story. So since then, we've been trying to figure out a way to see how do we break this cycle, right? How do we break this constant loop, this cycle, right? So they'll use astrology and all this thing, because I've been studying astrology for years. And I, for one, really would get into little debates with other astrologers because I'm a different kind of astrologer. I think differently. I see things differently. 99% of the astrologers are bound by astrology. What do I mean by that? They think you are bound to these planets. And that's the Archons. That's when they are tapping into the archonic frequency of these planetary energies. But remember, there's two levels. There's Archons and there's Aeons. So the Aeonic frequency is higher. And it wants to liberate you and free you and let you know that you are already one with source. You don't need these things. So I've always come from a place where saying these planets are not here to bind you. You are here to transcend your natal chart. Your natal chart is a combination lock for you to unlock your soul to transcend yourself out of this cycle. But they don't see it that way. They see that you're trapped within it and you have no choice. You are bound by the shit. And that's where we differ. The moment you take on a mindset of being bound by anything, then you are trapped. Now you are feeding into the cycle instead of trying to break free from it. You understand? And that goes for everything. It goes for everything. When you're reading these ancient texts, you're not supposed to be reading it to be bound by it. You're supposed to be reading it to decipher the code so you can break free from it. Am I making sense to some of you? Am I making sense? Or am I losing you? Put a 1 in the chat if you feel me. Put a 1 in the chat if you feel me. Put a 1 in the chat if you understand what I'm talking about around here. You listening? Put a 2 in the chat if you still lost. Put a 2 in like MahMah Tea. I just like being in here because I like hearing you talk. I don't know what the hell you talk about. I still love you. Stick around, you might learn something. Stick around, you might learn something. Right? Because We have to understand that we have to use everything at our disposal as tools. And the first thing you got to rip out your heart and your mind is that fear. Because dig it, they give you clues, right? Jesus says there's no such thing as death. It's immortality. You're an immortal soul. You don't die. But somebody turned the teachings of Christ into him being a sacrifice for you to wear a symbol of a dead man swinging on your neck. That's supposed to make you feel saved. I know Jesus ain't say none of that shit. First of all, his name wasn't even Jesus. And so there's Yahshua and Jesus, all that. And I'm not Hebrew, Israelite, none of that stuff. So please don't wrap me up in that. I decode that. There's something about the name Isis, though. When you decode Jesus, you really looking at the name Isis. ISIS, is. Ourself. It's something about that. It's a code for me. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, my perspective, Jesus was not a man. If Jesus was anything, Jesus was a woman. Jesus is Isis. Bottom line, y'all already know that. Jesus is Isis. Stop looking at it from the fairy tale of this book. These stories have been taken and rewritten over and over again to make you jacked up. Jesus is a code name for Isis, and this whole story, that whole story is a story about a bloodline of women who give birth parthenogenically. Because when you look at Mary, she gave birth to Jesus without a male. She gave birth parthenogenically. The only time a woman could give birth parthenogenically is when she gives birth to another woman. Because all her eggs are female. Woo, that was some good ass tea. Let me know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to watch the full video, just head on over to my... Why settle for a piece when you can have the whole cake? One place, one app, all the content, ebooks, podcasts, music, right at your fingertips. All you need to do is come to the vault, comment vault, and get access to everything.